Good evening, everyone. My name is Aldo Rodriguez. Today, my group and I will be doing a report that contains important details for the current business trip to the United Arab Emirates. We have created this report to guarantee a successful and seamless trip. This informative report includes essential information about the nation, such as safety concerns, business etiquette, negotiation techniques, and cultural standards. The following individuals represent the following sections. Myself, I will be in charge of the overview and safety considerations of the country, following with Diana, who is in charge of meeting etiquettes. Then we'll move on to Jamie, who is in charge of negotiations. Then we'll move on to Levi, who's in charge of the social aspects of the business and the country. And we'll end our report with Aicia, who is in charge of other considerations and the conclusion of the trip. Safety considerations and country overview. Regarding immunizations, there is no specific immunization required for U.S. travelers visiting the United Arabs. It is recommended to stay up to date on standard vaccinations such as flu, hepatitis, and tetanus. The currency and exchange in the country. The dirham is the local currency of the country. There is options to exchange your US dollars upon arrival at ATMs or currency exchange options in cities or airports. Weather. The Abu Dhabi desert climate is extremely hot. That is the surrounding desert of the city where you'll potentially be flying in, most likely. In the months of November, temperatures typically range between 75 and 85 degrees Fahrenheit. You will not need a jacket when you arrive to this trip, but it does tend to rain, so do bring an umbrella. The city overview. Abu Dhabi is the United Arab's capital with a population of approximately 1.5 million residents. Flights likely land at Abu Dhabi International Airport, which offers a reliable taxi and public transportation options once you arrive. Language and key phrases. Arabic is the official language. Also, English is widely spoken, specifically in business settings, so you will not be most likely having a hard time just moving on to the cultural exchange. I have included some key phrases once you arrive, such as peace be upon you, which is a formal greeting, moving on to thank you, and ending with please. And lastly, regarding religion, Islam is the primary religion of the country. Islamic customs influence daily life and business practices. Observing these customs is highly recommended. So on the bottom right of this slide, you will see that I put a link to the culture overview of the country, just in case you can fast track yourself and prepare for such trip. I have concluded my section of my slides. Now we'll move on to Diana, who's in charge of the meeting etiquettes.
Discussing aspects of meeting etiquette in the UAE. We'll start with attire. For both men and women, it is expected to be professional, conservative, and formal. Colors would be neutral, gray, black, navy blue, with the addition of white and beige for women. Regarding greetings, using formal titles and surnames is expected. Shaking of hands is acceptable for men, while for women only if the female extends her hand out first. The alternative of a handshake is placing the right hand over the heart and giving a small bow. Distribution of business cards is also acceptable, as long as they are in both English and Arabic. Distribution of cards with the right hand only. The use of the left hand is considered disrespectful. Punctuality is also expected, but it may not be reciprocated. You spend time making small talk, but do not rush meetings. You only start discussing business after the host starts the discussion. Meetings will take longer. Do not expect the initial meetings to get results, and you must be patient. Now I will go into negotiations with Jamie Jackson.
Negotiations in the UAE, hierarchy and authority. Respect for seniority is highly valued here, so seniority and authority is typically held by the highest ranking member in the room, with the lower ranked members typically taking the back seat in these meetings. When introducing yourself and speaking, you will typically address the highest member of authority first and then make your way down the line. For communications, Emirates are tough negotiators and often avoid saying no directly, so be sure you're listening for indirect answers and polite refusals. Negotiations are often lengthy, so being patient and maintaining politeness is key. For the contracts, written contracts are highly valued, although negotiations may continue after the written agreements have been signed and finished. because building long-term trust and relationships often takes precedence over formalities in the UAE. And now we'll go on to the social aspects of business with Levi Smith.
The social aspects of business in the United Arab Emirates are influenced by its culture, tradition, and social norms. Business meetings are often held over lunch or dinner, though lunch is more common. Meals are an important part of the business culture, and you may be invited to join business associates for a meal to further build a close relationship or bond. Meals are typically served in multiple courses, and it is customary to eat with your right hand. Alcohol is only available in licensed establishments, and public drunkenness is illegal. Business discussions may be avoided during the first part of the meal. If invited to a business associate's home, it's polite to bring a gift, but not required. Suitable options are specialty coffee or tea, luxury sweets or chocolates, corporate gifts, or perfumes and cologne. And now that we covered the social aspects of business, I'll hand it over to Aicia Osuna, who will finish it off with the conclusion and important considerations.
Some other things to consider. If you are giving any gifts, it's best to avoid the exchange of them across genders. If you are a man and a gift must be given to a woman, it is best to have a woman on your own team present it to her. Emiratis typically avoid any confrontation. They tend to express themselves in an indirect manner rather than be outwardly negative towards any ideas. This should be accounted for when you are trying to do business there. Active listening is highly valued. You should pay close attention to your business associates while they speak and have patience during these conversations or meetings. Overall, if you are respectful to them, you will also be respected. In conclusion, the Emirati communication style reflects cultural traditions, hierarchy, and a desire for positive exchanges. Visiting and doing business in the UAE can go smoothly so long as the culture is respected. Stay safe and be sure to drink water and wear sunscreen.